Hello, thanks for joining a new video. This time I'll share what I liked most and least about the HONOR Magic 7 Lite after testing it. If you're thinking of buying it, remember, don't get the HONOR Magic 7 Lite without watching this video first. Consider its launch price, which in Mexico was 9,999 pesos. I'll start with what I liked most. Its distribution is quite wide, unlike other devices that are only distributed online. This one can be purchased in a larger number of stores, so it will also be easier to suddenly get access to a special discount that will make the device a better option. In the hand, it is going to feel very thin. It is 7'9", 8 millimeters thick, which is not ultra thin. But by having curved finishes, it feels thinner in the hand and gives a good feel. Additionally, it comes equipped with the highly regarded Shield Glass 3.0, which has earned the prestigious 5-star certification from SGS for its resistance to drops. While it's important to note that this doesn't make it indestructible, it certainly offers a higher level of durability compared to the average smartphone. This doesn't imply that you can carelessly toss it around or that it will remain unscathed in every accident, but it does provide a bit more peace of mind and security. The screen is excellent, offering peak brightness of 4000 nits, making it look truly spectacular. Additionally, it features a pulse-dimming brightness control with a frequency of 30 and 840 Hz, which is an outstanding feature. And it's comfortable at lower brightness. The preview in backlit scenarios looks optimized, so backlit pictures will be good. It has dual recording mode, which came before the iPhone. It's not as high quality as the iPhone, but it's fine. The battery capacity is 6,600 mAh, and if you pay attention, you'll see it ranks among the top devices for battery life. In my testing while running in the foreground, it delivered a reference time of 5 hours and 26 minutes. Most cell phones only manage about 4 hours and 20 minutes. In the background test I conducted, it achieved 12 hours and 8 minutes, which is impressive considering that other phones typically reach only 4.5 to 6 hours. So it performs exceptionally well in this regard. In YouTube playback, it lasted 22 hours and 38 minutes, ranking among the top. It has 512 GB of storage, a great amount, so it doesn't fill up fast. It has attractive features that draw many people, but it's not perfect. Let me share what I disliked. Being a cell phone that has a very special approach to resistance, I would like to see IP68. I have to say that I am not sure about the aluminum frames that we do see in some other competitors, so I think this is very important because it is not a cell phone that can fall into the water with very high chances of survival, especially if it is a good depth water. If it falls in shallow water, I think it can still survive if you don't leave it there for too long, but it would give us more security IP67 or IP68. I must emphasize, taking into account that this is a device which features resistance as one of its main emblems. The absence of aluminum frames raises my concerns about its durability in lateral falls. The vibration motor is on the Z-axis. What does this mean? Practically, if you enable keyboard vibration, you'll hear it when typing. When you are writing, and this applies to much cheaper devices in this segment, it is no longer acceptable. This is something that causes me quite a bit of frustration with HONOR devices in general. Is that when you rotate to the front camera, immediately enters portrait mode, and if you wanted a normal selfie without the background out of focus, it is a little more tedious to be configuring the phone for a good selfie and already. Also, the camera is simple. Let's say the ultra-wide camera looks like the ultra-wide camera of an entry-level device. The main camera seems like it's from a mid-range device, even though it's priced in the upper mid-range category. It lacks a telephoto camera, while some competitors already include one. I'm not going to insist on it. However, I believe it isn't as competitive. For instance, photography feels much simpler. Moreover, if you attempt to take a burst of photos, the phone becomes noticeably slow, lacking fluidity. The photos are captured indoors clearly show chromatic aberration, especially in the backlight, which is quite noticeable. It indeed appears to be a much more basic device, and the portrait photos aren't particularly impressive. This simplicity extends to video recording capabilities as well, since only the main camera permits recording in 4K at 30 frames per second or in Full HD at 60 frames per second. The ultra-wide lens is truly quite basic, offering poor recording quality, especially at night when it looks awful. Additionally, the front camera also records in a very simple manner, so everything related to the cameras is quite basic with this cell phone. Furthermore, back then it didn't come with the most recent version of Android, and as far as I know, it still hasn't been updated. There isn't an update policy that provides certainty about how many years of updates it will receive, which is quite limited. Additionally, it lacks NFC, which is necessary for making mobile payments by simply bringing the phone close to bank terminals. Moreover, it doesn't support eSIM, which would allow adding mobile data plans by scanning QR codes. It comes equipped with Wi-Fi 5, but the download speeds are not particularly high. Additionally, it has Bluetooth 5.1.1. However, the function to project the screen to TVs did not work for me. I tried it with both Samsung and LG TVs, and unfortunately, it did not function. Furthermore, the proximity sensor is virtual, so you can see a lot is cut. In other areas, the Snapdragon 6 Gen 1 processor is somewhat lacking for this price point. It's not that the device is completely a disaster, as it does have some perceived functionality. At all times, it seems to provide a level of performance that you might expect from a device that costs perhaps half of its price. This means that the power it offers is quite limited. So, when it comes to gaming, for instance, the performance will likely be disappointing. It doesn't quite match up to the level of performance you could potentially get from other devices, and in the same price bracket. However, if you have already purchased it, please share your thoughts with me in the comment section below.